The Honorable Mr. and Madam speakers, okay, distinguished guests, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Okay, first of all, I would like to welcome you all to this prestigious webinar about managing life in COVID-19 era, lesson learned and way forward, held by Faculty of Human Ecology, University Putra Malaysia. Okay, my name is Suhaili binti Osman. I will moderate this afternoon session. Okay, and in this occasion, we will have 4 presentation. Okay, but before that, okay, maybe I can just give a brief introduction. Right. As we all know, COVID-19, or formerly known as coronavirus, is a disease caused by a virus strain that began spreading since December 2019. Okay, in early of 2020, Malaysia had been affected by the outbreak alongside the most of the countries, including Indonesia. Okay, so thus it's classifying as worldwide pandemic. Okay, as Malaysian and Indonesian experiences, we have gone through a series of MCO, I believe, in Indonesia as well. Okay, until at least the end of the year in the context of Malaysia. Okay, and maybe continue. Okay, subject to amendment by the government later. Okay, and this phenomenon contributed to many aspects of our life. Okay, therefore, we help together today, this webinar, to gather the related information from the presentation and sharing session later on. Okay, along this in this occasion, we shall have outstanding presentation from our prominent presenters, whom I believe shall enrich our insights and knowledge regarding the theme of the seminar. Okay, and the sub-theme of this afternoon occasion is consumer well-being. Okay, as I've mentioned earlier, we have 4 presenters from 3 of them from Malaysia, and particularly UPM, and we also have one from our country neighbor, which is Prof. Ujang from Indonesia. Welcome all to this webinar session. Okay, and they are going to present the topics related to their own expertise, which based from their research findings with regard to the major themes of this webinar. Okay, and each of the presenter, okay, sorry. Before this and gentlemen, let's welcome our third presenter, okay, from Indonesia, particularly Bogor Agricultural University. He is head of Department of Family and Consumer Science and professor in consumer behavior. Okay, Prof. Ujang Sumarwan. Okay, welcome Prof. Ujang. Prof. Ujang areas of specialization are marketing management, marketing communication, customer satisfaction, consumer psychology, consumer behavior, and service quality.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Prof. Ujang will deliver.
Will you allow me to share the screen?
Yeah,
on
please.
my account FEMA IPB?
Yes.
Another account.
Oh, another account?
Yeah, it's FEMA IPB.
Co-host. Okay, wait, Prof. Okay, Prof. Ujang will present will deliver a presentation entitled Consumption Behavior Changes During COVID-19 Pandemic Era. Okay, content analysis approach.
Yeah, please make me a co-host in
on
my account FEMA IPB.
Yes, FEMA.
Yes.
We're working on it, Prof.
F-E-M-A.
Okay. Ready? Done? Prof. Ujang?
Okay,
ready.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so without further ado, please, I welcome Prof. Ujang to deliver his presentation. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, all. Thank you, Prof. Suhaili. We would like to present some of the findings from what we call by content analysis approach. Consumption behavior changes during COVID-19 in the pandemic era. As we understand that 3 major factors affecting consumer decision making marketing programs, consumer psychological factors, and also consumer research. The consumer environment is external factor which strongly affect consumer decision making. And Sumarwan pointed out one of the external factor is consumer physical and social environment and situation. A COVID pandemic, which has been existing since March 2020 until now, its most part in the world was the main consumer environment, which strongly influenced consumer decision making, mainly changes in consumer consumption. So I use this model to figure out what consumption changes here. As we understand, there are three major factors affecting the consumer decision making. So my objective is to review the consumption behavior changes during the pandemic COVID-19. But we do not use survey. We use what we call by the content analysis. So we gather information what has been available in the public. The first one, we evaluate what we call by the previous research. Yeah. So one of the previous research, and then the second one is what we call by data coming from news, electronic news. And the third one is the data coming from the big data provided by the Google. So let's first we discuss about the research from the research article. One of the research by Utama in 2020, he found that 40% of respondents consume fresh fruit and vegetable daily. So this research based on the survey. And 30% of respondents was sometimes to eat instant noodle, and 85% of respondents always wash their hand, and 47% respondents was sometimes to do sunbathing. So it looks like there is a changes in the consumption behavior. Another research, Larasati, in 2020, constructed qualitative research by interviewing 5 university students living from different cities. She compared students' consumption behavior before and during pandemic period. This is an interesting finding. Communication expenditure increased from 5 to 15% because they consume a lot of using Zoom. Laundry expenditure decreased from 20 to 0% because now they live in with their parents. Entertainment expenditure decreased from 15% to 5%. And entertainment expenditure also decreased. Transportation remained the same, 5%. And food expenditure dropped from 30% to 20%. Yeah, it makes sense because now they stay with their parents. And other expenditure for sporting costs increased to 30%. Another research, what we call by the panic buying. So there is a relationship between panic buying and consumer buying behavior. Perceived convenient grocery store influence consumer buying positively. So here is some electronic news reporting decreased demand of food and food services during the pandemic period. So here's 6 major type of food which was decreased during the pandemic. Fast food restaurant, processed food or ready to eat, poultry meat, food and beverage industry, and also instant noodle. So if we provide the picture using what we call by the qualitative data analysis, we look at this is some major wording that appear on the electronic data, such as food related to trade, also related to news, and also related to beverage, and also related to the sales, and also related to the decrease in sales. Another picture, so food, sales, and then industry, and then also we look at here penurunan, decrease in the market. So another review is electronic news reporting increased demand of non-food item and services during the pandemic. So here is some of the news, and here's types of non-food item and services during pandemic who increase their demand. This is interesting. Leisure product and bikes. So it looks like that people stay at home. They do a lot of exercise. Yeah, small business product, and this is also important. Gold demand, an increased demand of gold. I don't know whether because of women stay at home and they save some money so they can buy more gold. Food services via online also increase. Online shopping increase. Buying textile product via online also increase. And then, of course, supplement and pharmacy product, telecommunication, internet, computer application. This is interesting here. Netflix customer. So a lot of young customer, they are subscribed with the Netflix because they stay home longer, video conference application, and also messenger application. So these are types of product who increase their demand during the pandemic. So if we provide the picture, so e-commerce and the names of the brand of e-commerce appears on the research reporting here. And here, word who are frequently open in the news. Yeah, one of the word is sales or penjualan. Yeah. Okay. Now we look at the big data. So the data describing consumer behavior on mobility at working place, park mall, and business district, supermarket, and grocery store. So this the data describe this behavior of consumer. So this is the official data analyzed by the Bureau of Statistics of Republic of Indonesia using the Google Mobility Index. Here's some picture. During the March to April, I think the government encouraged people to stay work at home, what we call by WFH, work from home. And then during April, especially in Jakarta, enforced what we call by the public policy, we call it large-scale social limitation, a type of city lockdown. Here is mobility at working place. During the WFH, only 15%. And then during the large-scale social limitation, dropped to 73%. And also mobility at home. During WFH, it's only 8%. But during the lockdown, they increase into 34%. And this is mobility in the shopping area. It looks like that during the large-scale social limitation, it's dropped to 70%. And as well as daily food also decreased to 46%. And mobility at public park and transit also goes down, yeah, during large-scale limitation and during the WFH. So here is what we can call by the government policy do change the behavior of consumer. And also during the normal period, majority of consumer buy grocery product on weekend. However, during the pandemic period, most consumer buy grocery items on weekday. It looks like the consumer avoid going to the crowd of people, usually the weekend, so many people. So they choose when the people are very, I mean, in the grocery store, there are small number of people do the grocery. And here is, during the pandemic era, it looks like that healthy items, healthy product, this is the higher increase in the price. When people need the health product and the price increase. So this is the problem with consumer. Of course, it will affect when the people needs and then the price goes up. So the well-being of consumer is questioned. And here is some major items which were increased during the pandemic. It looks like that household item, yeah, February, March, and April increase. A lot of people stay at home. It looks like they need a lot of kitchen appliances. And also cosmetic. This is interesting, yeah. The number of cosmetics sold is increased between February to April, yeah. Okay, food and beverage and export product sales increase, especially in the marketplace during the pandemic period. So this is the comparison between March and April, and also comparison between March and January. So the number of sales, the amount of sale, 300 more than January sale. And in April sale, almost 500% compared to the January. So it looks like this is food item was increased during the pandemic era. Now we look at the Google trend. This is also the basis is the big data. How people talk about impact of COVID on Indonesian economy. During the April, there is a lot of people talk about the impact of COVID on Indonesian economy. And how people talk about impact of COVID on family. This is interesting. During April, May, until August, people still talk about the family. As we understand, the family is the largest consumer in every market because the pandemic will directly influence the well-being of the family. How people talk about impact on COVID on unemployment. Here's March, April, May, June, July, until August, people still talking about the unemployment. So, of course, this is the big impact, negative impact on consumer well-being. Here's the same before. So, that's my research on the content analysis. So, the content analysis is look at the electronic document, printed document, in consumption behavior. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam, Prof. Ujang. Thank you very much for a very interesting presentation. Okay, very interesting findings from the aspect of consumer patterns, consumption patterns. Okay, sorry. I can maybe I can detect some interesting finding like Netflix is actually our nowadays lifestyle, yeah, Prof?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
And it's also interesting to know about gold consumption, gold buying.
Yes.
Okay, and there's a few other items that I can notice like cosmetic, buying behavior and so on. Okay, I hope that maybe hopefully after this there are also some question with regard to the products and consumption pattern changes later on. Yeah, Prof. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now for for Prof. Ujang. Okay, this is a question from Dr. Sharifah Aziza, Associate Professor Dr. Aziza from UPM.
Yes.
How the industries are responding to the consumption pattern changes due to COVID-19 in Indonesia. Okay.
Will you repeat the question?
Okay. How the industries are responding to the consumption pattern changes due to COVID in Indonesia?
Yes, I think for food services, they have to be more creative, mostly because in the shopping mall, the food services are closed. Then they offer what we call by online delivery. Yeah, so they open the services, the food. Let's say also retail market. Yeah, before they do not deliver online. Right now they do the deliver online, and also like international food, fast food restaurant. Right now they go directly to the consumer, to the residential area, like Pizza Hut, Starbucks. You know, before we only find them in the shopping mall, big shopping mall, but right now they send delivery to different residential area. So they just go directly to meet the customer. I think that's one of the creativity from the food industry. And other also they are more intensive in selling via online, and some even have collaboration with the with the bank, such as zero interest for the payment. So this is a different strategy used by the industry. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Prahuja. Okay, I have a question for maybe suitable to be asked to Prof. Prahuja. Okay,
Yes.
this is from Bayu, IPB. Okay, during a pandemic like this, which online shopping is appropriate to be used by consumer?
Yes, I think there are top 5 ya.
Top 5.
Shopee, Tokopedia, Bukalapak, and yeah, there are 5 yeah. They are very popular.
Okay.
And one of the marketplace told us that during the April, the largest sale goes to consumer is women apparel, you know. Basically for being comfortable at home, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Okay. But because in Malaysia we have yeah, you have mentioned about Lazada, right? We have mentioned
Yes, yes.
in Malaysia Lazada is the top one, and then followed by Shopee.
Yes, Shopee. Yeah.
Mudah.com, something like that, and a few
Okay.
others. Okay. All right. From to Prahuja. Okay.
Yes.
How food services adjust their strategy to face consumer behavior changes during the pandemic?
Say again.
How food services adjust their strategy to face consumer behavior changes during the pandemic?
Yes, I think first a lot of food services right now apply the health protocol, so they make the consumer feel safety, and also they do a lot of delivery. Even right now, a lot of food vendor coming to the residential area, and they have connected with their customer using the WhatsApp group, you know. So householder can order to the vendor, you know, and they got a delivery. So this is, I mean, the environment, the physical environment makes a lot of people more creative, you know, to survive. I think that's the normal behavior, yeah. And also a lot of new small scale entrepreneur appears during the pandemic era. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Prahuja. Actually, this already also cater in one question from Anastasia Ekasari. Okay, this is actually being answered by you just now. Okay, but let me just mention the questions. Okay, according to speaker, what positive impact? So I think it's already answered, right? What is the positive impact can we take from COVID-19 pandemic? People become more creative, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, but if
And
there's
also,
Prof?
I would like to add, yeah.
Yeah, please.
I mean, the COVID-19 provide the awareness to all the government how vulnerable we are, and we are not ready. We do not use what we call the risk mitigation, you know. We never design in our developing strategy how to cope with this kind of problem. So I think the positive impact is, I think the government, local government, central government, federal government, as well as even the family, you know, even as an individual, they have to think about the risk management. I think this is the time that we have to think about the risk factor dealing with the situation, what we call by the FUCA. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Prof. Okay, I think I can just entertain another one last question because we are about to end the session. It's already time, the limitation in terms of time.